Welcome to Real English Voices, the podcast where you learn English the natural way.
Hey, we are Tom and Ria. Welcome to Real English Voices for English Learners.
Hello. Yes, welcome. We're really glad you could join us today for what we think is a really essential deep dive.
Absolutely. Today, we're tackling something that, well, causes stress for almost everyone, right? Students, professionals. But maybe especially for English learners. And that's giving a confident presentation in English. It's where all that learning meets, well, the real-world performance.
That is so true. You know, the moment you hear, okay, next week you give a presentation, for many people, the heart starts beating faster.
Yeah, that feeling.
But our mission today really is to make that whole process simpler. We want to give you a system, some, powerful but easy tips.
Tips for preparing, tips for practicing, and maybe the biggest one, tips for controlling those nerves when the actual day arrives, the big day.
Exactly. And importantly, we're also going to load you up with some really useful English phrases. Think of them as tools.
Tools, like scaffolding.
Yeah, exactly like scaffolding. They help you build your presentation so it sounds organized, professional, confident, even if, inside you're still feeling a bit new to speaking English in front of people.
We get those worries. We hear them all the time. My English isn't good enough. Or, oh no, I'm going to forget everything I wanted to say because I'll be so nervous.
But here's the thing to remember, and it's really key. Confidence isn't something you're just, born with.
Right.
It's a skill, something you build step by step.
And, maybe the most surprising thing is that even native English speakers, people who do this all the time,
Professionals, yeah.
they feel fear, too. The nervousness. It's actually pretty normal.
It really is. The real difference is that people who present well, they have a system, they know how to prepare, and they have these little tricks, these tools to manage that nervous energy, turn it into something positive, like focus.
So our goal today is simple. Give you those same tools so that by the end of this deep dive, you feel ready. You can stand up straight and think, okay, yeah, I can do this.
Yes, exactly that feeling.
All right, then, let's get started. Let's break it down. Step one has to be preparation. You often say that good preparation means you've already, won half the battle.
Oh, yes, one half the battle. It's a great idiom. It means basically that if you do the preparation part really well, you're almost guaranteed some success before you even start the main event, the presentation itself. Good prep takes away maybe 50% of the anxiety.
Because you know what you're talking about. You have a plan.
Exactly. It makes you feel safer, like having a map, just like you said earlier. It guides you.
Okay, so the very first part of preparation, point A, is knowing your topic. Sounds obvious? Maybe. But it's actually super important, especially for English learners. Why is that?
It's critical because, what often happens is students get an assignment, they rush to the internet, find some complicated article.
Yep, seen that.
Copy these really complex sentences, and then try to just memorize them, word for word.
And that's a trap, isn't it? Why is memorizing someone else's perfect English so risky?
Well, think about it. A presentation is live. It's dynamic. What if someone asks a question you didn't expect?
Oh.
Or what if you just forget one single word in that super long memorized sentence? The whole thing can fall apart. You freeze. Panic sets in. You lose all flexibility.
Okay, so the advice is clear. Don't just copy, paste, and memorize. You have to actually understand the subject deeply.
Yes. Understand it in your own mind with your own thoughts. We actually have a little test for this, something we picked up. Ask yourself this question.
Okay.
Can I explain this main idea simply, using my own words? Not the fancy words from the book, but just simple, everyday language.
And then the second part of the test, which I really like, is can you explain it to someone who knows nothing about it? Like a friend or maybe your mom or dad?
Exactly. If you can make it simple enough for a friend who isn't an expert in, say, climate change or whatever your topic is, it means you've truly grasped the concept itself, not just the vocabulary words around it. And when you understand it that deeply, your brain can find the simple English words you need, even when you're nervous. That kind of understanding builds real confidence, the kind that lasts.
That's a really powerful distinction. Understanding gives you the content. Okay, so now we need to organize that content. That brings us to point B, making a clear structure.
Right, structure. Structure is just the plan, the order of things in your presentation. Think of it like a roadmap you give to your audience.
And without that map.
They get lost. They
No.
feel confused. They don't know where you're going. And honestly, they might just tune out, stop listening properly.
But if you give them that clear structure right at the beginning,
Then they relax. They feel comfortable. They know what's coming. They know the journey you're taking them on. It makes listening so much easier.
so let's revisit the classic simple structure. Every good presentation needs these 3 parts.
Super simple. Number 1, the beginning. Number 2, the middle. And number 3, the end. That's it.
Okay, let's break down the beginning first. What absolutely has to happen in, say, the first minute?
3 key things in the beginning. First, you greet your audience. Make them feel welcome.
Simple enough.
Second, you clearly state your topic. What's the main idea you'll be talking about? Sometimes called the thesis.
Got it. Greet, state topic. What's third?
Third, and this is maybe the most important part for structure, you tell them the map. You outline the main points you'll cover in the middle section.
So you're basically giving them a preview of the middle.
Precisely. And for the middle itself, especially for shorter presentations like in a class, keep it focused. 2 or 3 main points is usually perfect.
Not 10 points.
Oh, definitely not 10. That's overwhelming for everyone, you included. The middle is where you dive into those 2 or 3 points with your details, your examples, your evidence.
Okay. And the third part, the end. Simple, but you said it often gets forgotten.
Yes, people sometimes just stop. The end needs 2 clear things. First, a very short summary. Just quickly remind them of your main conclusion or the key takeaways.
Right. Reinforce the message.
And second, a clear thank you. This signals you're finished speaking before you ask for questions. It provides closure.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Use that example plan from our outline. Let's say the topic is social media. How would you announce that structure right at the start?
Sure. So after introducing myself, I'd say something like, okay, today I'm going to talk about social media. Our presentation has 3 main parts. First, I'll briefly explain what social media is. Second, I'll share maybe 3 main advantages for people who use it. And third, I'll discuss some of the common problems or disadvantages. Finally, I'll offer my own opinion and then wrap up with a quick summary.
See, when you hear that as an audience member, you instantly know the plan. Okay, 3 points about social media. I can follow that. It helps manage attention.
Exactly. Okay, so we know our topic, we have our structure. Now, point C is making useful notes. Now, this is where some people might disagree, right? You sometimes question only using keywords, especially if a learner feels their vocabulary is still limited. Isn't reading a full script safer?
That's a really good point. And it feels safer, doesn't it? Writing out every single word seems like the ultimate safety net.
Yeah.
But there are 2 big problems when you just read a script aloud.
Okay, what are those 2 big mistakes?
First, your eye contact disappears. You're just looking down at the paper, not connecting with the people in the room. The connection is broken.
Right, you lose the audience.
And second, your voice changes. When you read, you almost always sound flatter, more monotonous. You lose your natural rhythm and energy. You sound, well, like a robot reading a text. And that's boring.
Okay, so the solution, even though it feels a bit scary at first, is to use only keywords or maybe very short phrases on your notes.
Just reminders, like signposts on the road.
Exactly. They're just there to jog your memory about the next main idea. They're not the whole script.
Let's try that example again. If your full sentence idea is, it is crucial that we analyze both the positive contributions and the potential negative impacts of utilizing online educational platforms.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Right. Too complex for notes. The keyword note could just be online learning, pros and cons.
Or even shorter, like OL plus link.
Perfect. Just seeing that triggers your brain to remember the idea you practiced. And because you're not reading, you're forced to explain it using your own natural speaking style.
That leap from just reading words to actually speaking ideas.
Mm.
That's the goal for sounding natural. The power isn't in the paper, it's in your voice, your connection. Okay, that wraps up preparation. That's half the battle won. Now we need the other half. Step 2, practice.
Step 2, practice. Building confidence. So preparation gives you the content, the map, the notes, but practice gives you the how, the confidence.
Yeah, not magic, is it? Confidence comes from doing.
Absolutely. It comes from doing something again and again. Practice builds that feeling of being sure of yourself.
But I often hear students say, oh, I practiced. I read my notes over and over in my head. Is that really practicing for a presentation?
Not quite. That's reading practice, maybe memorization practice, but it's not presentation practice. The first rule, point A, is practice speaking aloud.
Out loud.
Yeah.
Using your voice.
Yes, you absolutely have to open your mouth, make the sounds, use your actual voice, and even move your body a bit. The presentation will happen in a real room with real sound, not silently inside your head. You need to train the physical part of speaking.
Why is saying it aloud so different from just thinking it?
Because speaking uses muscles. Your tongue, your jaw, your diaphragm for breathing. These all need practice. If you only practice silently, the first time you actually say those words out loud in front of everyone, they can feel awkward, heavy, unfamiliar in your mouth.
Okay, speak aloud.
Yeah.
And a great way to start that is using the mirror technique.
Ah, the mirror. Your honest, quiet friend. Yes. Stand in front of a mirror and actually deliver your presentation. Look at yourself.
What should we be looking for in the mirror? It sounds a bit weird.
It might feel weird at first, but look at your face. Do you look really tense? Are your eyebrows all crunched up, making you look angry or scared? Try to consciously relax your face. Maybe even try a little smile. A relaxed face helps create a relaxed voice.
Okay, face check. What else?
Check your body. Are your shoulders slumped forward? Or maybe really high and tight near your ears? Are your arms locked stiffly at your sides? The mirror shows you all these little signs of tension that you might not even feel.
And if we see them?
Try to consciously relax, drop your shoulders, let your arms hang loosely. When you look more relaxed in the mirror, you actually start to feel a bit more relaxed inside. It's a feedback loop.
Okay, mirror practice. Got it. What's the next practice tool? B, record yourself and listen.
Yes, this is where you become your own coach, or maybe your own toughest critic.
Use your phone, right? Just record yourself giving the talk.
Exactly. Use your phone, your computer, whatever. Record it. And then this is the important part. You have to actually listen back carefully, as if you were listening to someone else.
What specific things should we listen for?
Ask yourself, am I speaking way too fast or maybe too slow, dragging it out? Is my volume okay, or does it go up and down randomly? Do I sound clear, or am I mumbling, swallowing the ends of my words?
And for English learners, maybe check for filler words.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Listen for how often you use words like, we all use them sometimes, but are you using them constantly?
So if you hear lots of ums and ums,
It's a sign. It usually means you need to slow down a little, and instead of filling the silence with, practice using a short, powerful pause instead. It sounds much more confident. Listening to yourself is amazing feedback. You catch mistakes before the real presentation.
Okay, mirror, recording. Now C, try the shadowing technique. This sounds interesting. How does it help with presentations?
Shadowing is fantastic for improving your overall fluency, your rhythm, and how natural your English sounds. And sounding natural really boosts how confident you seem.
So what is shadowing exactly?
It means you listen to a recording of a good, clear English speaker, maybe someone on Real English Voices or a TED Talk, whatever, and you try to repeat what they say immediately after them, almost at the same time, like your voice is their shadow.
So I'm not just repeating the words.
No, not just the words. You're trying to copy the music of their speech, their intonation, how their voice goes up and down, their stress, which words they emphasize, make louder or longer, their rhythm.
Why is copying the music so important?
Because that's often what makes non-native speech sound a bit unnatural. Maybe emphasizing small grammar words too much or having a very flat tone. Shadowing helps you absorb the natural flow and melody of spoken English.
How should a beginner actually do this? It sounds hard.
Start small. Don't try to shadow a whole speech. Just take maybe 10 seconds of audio, play it, pause it, then immediately try to repeat it, focusing only on copying the sound and the rhythm. Did they pause? Did a word go up high? Just imitate.
So focus on the sound, not just the meaning.
Exactly. It trains your mouth and your ear to work together to produce those natural English patterns. It takes practice, but it really pays off.
Okay. Challenging but useful. So we've practiced alone with the mirror, the recording, and shadowing. What's the final practice step? D, practice with a listener.
Yes. Time to add a bit of realistic pressure, but in a safe space. If you can, practice your presentation for a real person, a friend, a family member, maybe another classmate.
Why is having a live audience, even just one person, so different?
It just makes the nerves feel a bit more real. Your body reacts differently when someone is actually watching and listening. It's good preparation for the real classroom environment.
And when we ask someone to listen, is there anything specific we should ask them to do?
Yes, this is key. Ask them. When I finish, could you please ask me 1 or 2 questions about my presentation?
The Q&A practice. Why is that so vital?
Because for many people, the question and answer part at the end is actually the most stressful bit. You don't know what they'll ask. Practicing answering questions helps you think on your feet in English.
But what if my friend asks something really hard and I I don't know the answer. I'm worried I'll freeze up or look stupid. What's the confident way to handle that in English?
That's a super common fear. And the most important thing is, it is perfectly okay to not know the answer. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing how to handle the situation gracefully.
So don't just stand there silently panicking.
Definitely not. Use a polite phrase. You could say, "That's a really interesting question. That specific detail wasn't part of my research for this presentation, actually."
Okay, that sounds professional. Any other options?
Or even simpler. "Good question. I don't have that exact information right now, but I'd be happy to look it up and get back to you."
Ah, that's brilliant. It shows you're engaged, you're polite, but you're not guessing or making something up. You control the moment.
Exactly. You handle it with confidence, even without knowing the answer itself. Remember, all this preparation and practice makes that final step, the actual presentation day, feel much less scary.
Okay, makes sense. So now, we've done the prep, we've done the practice. It's finally here. Step 3, the big day. You walk into the room, you see everyone looking at you, and bam, the nerves hit. What can we do right then and there, physically, to get control?
First things first, A, breathing and posture. You need to interrupt that physical panic signal your body is sending to your brain.
Interrupt the panic. How?
Before you say a single word, just pause and take one single, deep, slow breath. You can try the 4-second trick. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts, maybe hold for 2, then breathe out slowly for 4 counts.
Why does deep breathing work?
It physically calms you down, it slows your heart rate, it tells your nervous system, hey, it's okay, we're not actually in danger. It's simple, but incredibly effective.
Okay, deep breath. What about posture, how we stand?
Don't try to hide, don't shrink down or stare at the floor. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back slightly, keep your head up, and stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. It's sometimes called a power pose.
Power pose. Does that really work? It feels a bit fake, maybe?
It sounds it, but there's science behind it. When you adopt a physically confident posture, even if you're trembling inside, your body sends signals back to your brain that say, I'm strong, I'm in control. Your physical stance can actually influence how you feel. Stand tall, feel stronger.
Worth a try. Okay, breathing, posture. Next up, be smiling and language, making the atmosphere friendly and keeping the words clear.
Absolutely. Try to start with a little smile, even a small one, and a warm greeting. A smile is contagious. It helps your audience relax, which in turn helps you relax. It just signals positivity right away.
So just a simple, good morning, everyone, with a smile.
Perfect. Or, hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm looking forward to talking about something friendly and open.
And let's talk about language choice again. We said avoid complex sentences during prep. That's even more important on the day itself, right?
Definitely. Resist the temptation to show off with big, complicated vocabulary or super long sentences. Simple English is clear English.
And clear English sounds confident.
Exactly. When you use complex language you're not 100% comfortable with, especially when nervous, the risk of making mistakes, pausing awkwardly, or correcting yourself goes way up. And those little stumbles can shake your confidence during the talk.
So the goal is clarity and smooth delivery. Not trying to sound like a textbook. Let's do that comparison again.
Right. Instead of trying to say something like, the multifarious repercussions stemming from pervasive social media engagement are often demonstrably detrimental.
Whoa. Okay, what's the simple version?
Just say, social media has lots of effects. Some are good, some can be bad. That's what I want to explore today.
So much easier to say, and everyone understands it instantly. Use language you control, not language that controls you.
Precisely. Clear as confident. Okay, final part of managing the day, C, body language and voice control. This is about how you move and sound.
Let's start with eyes. Eye contact. Essential for connection, right, but terrifying for some.
It is essential. You need to look at your audience, not constantly at your notes or the ceiling or the back wall.
But staring into someone's eyes can feel really intense, especially if you're nervous. Any tricks?
Yes. Don't feel you need to lock eyes with one person for ages. Try the scanning method. Mentally divide the room left, middle, right. Speak a sentence or two while looking generally towards one section, then smoothly shift your gaze to the next section, then the third. Keep it moving gently.
Okay, scanning. Any other tips for the really nervous?
The classic trick. Look at people's foreheads or just slightly above their heads. From their perspective, it looks like you're making eye contact, but it feels much less direct and intimidating for you.
Sneaky. I like it. Okay, what about hands? What do we do with our hands?
Use them. Use your hands naturally to gesture, to emphasize points. Counting points on your fingers is great. It helps visually. The main thing is to avoid nervous habits.
Like what?
Don't keep your hands stuffed in your pockets, especially if you might jingle keys or coins. Don't cross your arms over your chest. It looks defensive or closed off. And try not to fiddle with your hair or face too much.
So if I don't know what to do, just let them hang.
Pretty much. Just let them rest, relax at your sides. Or maybe gently rest one hand on the lectern if there is one. Natural and calm is the goal.
Okay. Eyes, hands. Now the voice itself. Pacing and pauses. Big problem when nervous is talking too fast, right? Like a runaway train.
Exactly. You have to consciously slow down, think deliberate, think calm, and embrace the pause.
Pauses aren't bad. They feel like mistakes sometimes. Like I forgot my words.
No, pauses are your friend. They are powerful. A short pause gives your audience a moment to digest what you just said. It gives you a moment to breathe, check your notes quickly, and gather your thoughts.
And a pause before an important point.
Makes people lean in. It signals, listen up, this bit is important. Pauses show control, not weakness. Use them strategically.
We also talked about tone. Not sounding flat or robotic.
Yes, vary your tone. If you speak in one monotonous voice the whole time, people will mentally check out. Inject some energy. If you're stating a surprising fact, maybe your voice gets a little louder or faster. If you're discussing a serious problem, maybe slow down and lower your pitch slightly. Let your voice reflect the meaning.
It's about keeping the audience engaged through variety.
Exactly. By managing your breathing, posture, eyes, hands, pace, pauses, and tone, you are actively controlling the presentation experience instead of letting your nerves control you.
That makes sense. And that brings us perfectly to our final section, the toolkit that helps tie it all together with specific words.
Yes, Section 4, Useful Presentation Phrases. Think of these as your pre-made building blocks for structure. They help you sound organized and professional instantly. Practice them until they feel automatic.
Okay, let's run through them. First, A phrases for starting, setting that confident tone right away.
You need a good opening. Simple greetings work best. Good morning, everyone. Or good afternoon. You could add, thank you for being here today.
Then state your purpose clearly. Today, I'd like to talk about your topic.
And crucially, outline the structure. My presentation is divided into 3 parts. First, I'll cover part 1. Second, we'll look at part 2. And third, I'll discuss part 3. Boom. Clear, confident start.
Perfect. Now B, phrases for a show day. Moving to the next point. How do we bridge the gap smoothly between sections?
You need transition signals. Don't just jump. Use phrases like, okay, so now that we've looked at previous point, let's move on to the second point, which is new point.
Or even simpler.
Much simpler. Next, I want to talk about topic, or turning now to the next section. These little phrases act like signposts for the listener. They keep everyone on track. Okay, next toolbox item. C, phrases for giving examples. Examples make your points real.
Yes, but you need to signal that an example is coming. Don't just drop it in. Say clearly, for example, or for instance.
And if you want to make the example sound stronger,
You could say, a clear example of this is, or to illustrate this point, let's look at example.
Well,
Using these phrases tells the audience, pay attention, here comes the proof.
excellent. And finally, D, phrases for concluding. Wrapping it all up effectively.
You have to signal the end is near. Don't just stop talking. Use phrases like, so, to summarize, or in conclusion.
And then briefly restate your main points. We've seen that Summary 1 and Summary 2 are key factors.
If you need to give a final opinion. So my final thought is that your opinion.
And always, always end with gratitude and next steps. Thank you very much for your time and attention, or thank you for listening. And then, if appropriate, I'm now happy to answer any questions you might have.
These phrases are like magic keys, aren't they? They unlock a smooth, organized flow without you having to invent complicated linking sentences while you're nervous.
That's exactly what they are. Ready-made tools for structure and flow. So we've really covered the whole journey today, haven't we? From that essential preparation and practice.
Right through to managing your nerves on the day with body language, voice control.
And using these handy structural phrases.
And let's just circle back to that core idea one last time because it's so important. Confidence when speaking English. It's not just a feeling you hope for, right?
No, it's not passive, it's active. It's something you build. You build it every time you prepare properly, every time you practice speaking out loud, every time you choose to stand tall, breathe deeply, and use clear, simple language.
Each presentation is a chance to get stronger, to practice these skills. You're not just giving a talk, you're building a really valuable capability.
Exactly. So before we finish up, let's do a super quick recap with a few questions for you, the listener, to think about, just to help lock in today's ideas.
Yeah, like a mini self-test. Okay, question 1, focusing on technique. What does that practice method called shadowing actually involve, and which part of your spoken English does it really help improve?
Question 2 is about the big picture, the concept. What are those 3 essential parts of any good presentation structure, and what's the main job of the beginning part?
And question 3 is for you to apply right now. Think about those useful phrases in section 4. Choose just one phrase, maybe for starting, or transitioning, that you promise yourself you'll use in your very next English presentation. What is it? Maybe even say it out loud right now 3 times.
We really hope this deep dive has given you not just information, but practical tools and maybe a little bit more confidence already. Enough to see your next presentation as an opportunity, not just a threat.
An opportunity to practice, to learn, and to show what you know. Thank you so much for joining us today on Real English Voices. Keep practicing, keep learning.
And keep believing in yourself. You can do this. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.